Hey guys, what's up? I've been so busy I haven't even had time to get a haircut. This is not a new hairstyle, okay? This is gonna be this. Alright, so I got the rest of the E3 videos, interviews are coming at you. Second round of them. Let's start with Infinite Crisis. This is a game I'm super excited about, obviously, because it's the DC universe. I'm a huge DC fan, Superman fan. And it's perfect timing for it after off the hype of the Man of Steel movie. And I just love MOBAs. I've been playing League of Legends. Girl tries to get me to play Dota 2. They're both great. And I've been getting into a lot more MOBAs. There's other ones too. But the fact that this has the DC license and it does a lot of things unique and right. Now, I'm in the closed beta, so I have experience with the game. It could use some improvements in certain areas. But it does say that the current build out there is actually an older build, and they've moved on from that and added a bunch of new improvements to it. In fact, I think the NDA actually lifted on that, so I can actually show you some of my matches where I whoop ass as Flash and Shazam, getting like tons of kills and what builds I use. And then, from that you can see, what kind of feedback you want to give, or if you're already in the beta, send it over my way and I will get it to these guys. They seem really intelligent about the MOBA genre and willing to take feedback. So check out what they have so far in the interview. All right. Angry Joe here, and I'm with Cardell, the creative director for Infinite Crisis, a game I'm super excited about. You probably guessed that. I'm a huge DC fan. So basically, this takes one of my favorite genres, MOBAs, and adds in DC characters. So it's a match made in heaven for me. How do you feel about working with DC characters and trying to do them justice in a MOBA-style game? What's that like?
Well, it's one of those things where I feel, as a person who grew up reading comics, my favorite character ever was Green Lantern. I loved Hal Jordan, grew up on that. Obviously, the man with the strongest will deserves the representation in our game. And I'm super glad that we managed to do that, as you can see in the thing behind us.
Man with the strongest anything is
Oh,
right here,
is it gonna be like that now? Is that what has to happen? All right, well, we'll table our grudge match.
I just took your ring.
Look, look, I know you saw it. Look, I saw the reboot. It's fine. Everyone has their one free one. Everyone just happens to pickpocket Hal.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's comedic. Ha ha. Get it out of our system. But
You saw that in
Injustice. I certainly saw that. Yeah.
No, you did.
That was good
I
stuff.
saw this one is fucking awesome. I might actually play that Green Lantern.
See,
what kind of Green Lantern is that?
That was
the Emerald Knight sort of Green Lantern.
So
what universe is that from?
That is, we actually pulled that one from what we refer to as Arcane Earth. So basically, picture a world where it's not so much science as much as it is magic. So we've taken a lot of the characters that are often science-driven and flipped them on their ears in terms of just shifting them around. So you can see how Oa and the Guardians effectively would actually exist in Arcane Earth, and you can see how we always refer to him internally as Haladin, but the thought here is that he clearly belongs to almost a Knight Templar, and this version of Hal is not quite the cowboy that the basic one is. He's very much a stickler for the rules.
Yeah. Now, so this is really exciting because you have access to create the same character multiple times, but have them feel unique, each one. Do they have different voice actors for those, how much oversight does DC have on this? Because you're effectively making new characters that we really haven't seen before.
So it's kind of a combination of those. Each one of them, I've tried to treat each of them as their own separate, unique character. When you look at Nightmare Batman versus regular Batman, sure, they have a shared history. However, those characters are wildly different, have wildly different standards. One person's all about killing the Joker, one person probably should have killed the Joker. But you can see there's obviously more differences than just that. And when it comes to actually working with DC, though, it's been pretty awesome. Again, if young me had realized that one day he would grow up to basically be like, hey, those characters that you read about right now, you're going to be able to make those in a game. Oh, yeah, and you're also going to make your own kind of versions of them, and DC's going to totally work with you in this, and you can even see it actually outside, because we have this whole kind of miniature lineup that we have in our area of Nightmare Batman, of Atomic Wonder Woman, and also of Arcane Green Lantern. And yeah, that entire experience has been freaking awesome.
Now, I'm in the closed beta, and I'm having a ton of fun with it. Now, the game has some problems, obviously in a beta, you work on things like, and let's talk about some of those things that could use improvements. The interface could use a bit of improvement, and the items, they seem really, really small. So how much feedback are you going to take from the fans, and is this going to be an ongoing process like, your competitors, League of Legends, who constantly evolves their game? Do you guys have a similar strategy, putting out updates, video explanations of what you're changing? I think I'm most interested in, when you put out a character, you try to balance it as best as possible in beta, but obviously players are smart and they could come up with strategies that maybe nobody ever anticipated. So as in what League of Legends does is they put out a video, they say, hey, this isn't what we intended for this, so we're going to go ahead and add this power, take this power away. Are you guys going to do those sort of community update videos for your champions if something turns out to be broken?
So, I mean, I think that one of the things that I learned I'm working at Turbine for over a decade, and the big thing that we've always done is we built these giant MMO-style games, and each of those giant MMO-style games has a equally giant, very opinionated, very outspoken community that wants to know when X is going to change or when Y is going to change. So in that sense, we're going to basically do that for this game. We fully expect to listen to that community, integrate all those things that they're saying. I mean, we're trying our best to really action on all of those things while at the same time continuing to bring out characters that we all want to see in our game. Sure. But while that's all happening, like, we're definitely looking at things like our artifact foundry, and we're trying to be like, all right, well, how do we take all the feedback people are giving us? Like, we really like the simplicity of the artifacts we have. I mean, how can you not like Two Faces coin? I mean, even just as a basic object, it's good to have. But we want to make sure that we keep that DC flavor while at the same time making it clear for people what they're actually getting and why they want these objects. So we already plan to do a pretty significant Artifact Foundry revamp, and you can look for that probably up in the near future. That's
great, yeah, because it looks good. It's kind of hard to read, and I play Shazam temporarily until Superman comes out. Because let me start there. Is Superman coming out? When's Superman coming out?
Well, all I can say is, can you imagine any form of DC game without Superman?
No.
So then I think you already know the answer. I mean, clearly they're going to do a Superman. The question is not so much if we're going to do one. The question is, when are we going to do one?
Okay, because I have the creative director here, I must say Superman needs to have an ability where he like flies up, like maybe like a Skyfall, in a particular game. That would be awesome. Come crashing down. You have to have him fly in some way.
Well, why? I mean, why would you think that? Or about Superman? I mean,
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, really, I mean, like these. I don't know what you're talking about. Superman. I mean, Superman's one of the hardest characters to ever figure out powers for. I mean, the guy barely does anything.
You just recently announced a new mode called Coast City. Could you explain that to us and for my viewers?
Sure. So Coast City is a map that we have built up utilizing the things that we think make our game especially unique. It is something that has never been seen before in the MOBA space. It's built around our destructive PvP system in terms of the ability for superheroes to cause massive collateral damage when they're fighting, combined with our catastrophic event system. The concept of larger-than-life events changing the very face of the map and changing the tactics that the players are going to use when they're playing through. So we put those together and we decided, what happens if we make a map that's built entirely around a catastrophic event? Like in Gotham Heights, you can trigger something like that, but the next step for Coast City is, instead of just triggering it, how about if we let you control it and aim it and use it as a weapon to utterly annihilate your foes? And that really is the heart of Coast City.
That's the Doomsday device that's in the middle of the map. Yeah. Now, so this is a two-lane experience. Could you talk a little bit about how the game flow will happen in this particular mode?
Sure. So it's a 5v5 two-lane experience. It's actually built a little kind of like a pentagon, as the case is, and each of those lanes has two towers in it. So the top lane is actually very, very long. It's actually fairly unsafe, whereas the bottom lane is actually much shorter. It's a little more secure. We're not even certain how the meta is going to go for this one because we have so much more space in it. Like, we have so many more minions and creeps in the jungle that any type of jungler who wants to go there and fight through won't even be able to clear them all. So we've seen all sorts of strange metas emerge internally. We've seen a single jungle run. We've seen a double jungle run. We've seen a lot of just lane pressure that then falls back into just jungle runs and trying to just own map control. I mean, this entire map is kind of a free-for-all. Like, we have no idea what people are going to do with it. And I can definitely say, like, right now, like you can hear in the background, that's Gotham Heights playing. Yeah. We've seen a couple pro teams in terms of complexity and Curse Academy playing through, and I've seen them do stuff with their characters that have been like, oh, wow, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. we're not. It's exciting because it is something brand new in the MOBA genre. You're adding something, so it's a little unexpected. How are we going to play? 3 bot, 2 top, no jungler, junglers, 2 junglers. So it seems like a pretty interesting mode. Now, for traditionalists, people who are most used to MOBA style games, they're looking for a Summoner's Rift or an equivalent type mode. Will that be coming for Infinite Crisis?
We plan on making a tri-lane map. In terms of in terms of where it's going to be, it's a bit too early for that one. I will definitely say that each time we build one of these map experiences, we try to build on all the lessons we've learned, and we also try to build on what the community has to say. I mean, we launched Gotham Heights, and we've modified Gotham Heights as time has gone on to try to make sure that people really understand, like, this is the Infinite Crisis version of this map. Like, really just understand that and really learn how to utilize the things that make our game unique here. And we expect the same thing to happen with Coast City, but each of those is ultimately building towards our tri-lane map, our tri-lane version, which will also be something that really doubles down on our destructive PvP system and our catastrophic events.
So in this game, when you last hit, could you explain last hitting enemies? Because I'm seeing gold drop. I'm seeing both highlighted gold, darker gold. Do you get the gold automatically when you last hit an enemy?
So right now, we actually have a bit of a hybrid model. I mean, we started initially with just credits dropping, no matter what. And we found that doesn't necessarily reward all the skillful play mechanics that people who are really veterans of the MOBA space have come to expect. Additionally, it also makes it a little bit harder for like ranged people such as like Gaslight Batman to really collect, because they come in and they fight from a distance, and the fact that they have to run in next to Doomsday to try to get some money, probably not your best option. Yeah, right. That's exactly. I don't want that. I mean, I wasn't going to go there. I know you thought Doomsday, but I'm not interested. But so what we ultimately went back to is like we went with a hybrid solution, and that solution is if you last hit anything, you will get the credits for that. Versus if that minion dies of its own volition, of like another minion kills it or struck by a tower, it drops credits as well. And you can basically come in. So if you're late and you see a big wave pushing in a lane in Coast City and you decide you're going to run down there, and by the time you get there, it's already kind of fought and kind of cleared itself, you can at least still harvest those credits. Additionally, we also show the opposing team's credits. So this also means that you can kind of wait in a bush, and I always do this. I like to do this with Nightmare Batman or any type of assassin. Like the Flash is good with it. Gaslight Catwoman is great with it. You kind of wait in a nearby stealth field when you see a bunch of money, because you expect that some squishy person is going to run over trying to get some free loot, and it's like free candy. Like you wait there by the free candy, and then you basically just rickroll them.
Now, and another unique aspect of the game is destructible environments, interactable environments, picking up cars, picking up Humvees, and throwing it out, and that just fits the DC universe perfectly. You know, superpowered heroes being able to, flex their muscles and do these types of things. Now, but in game, how has that, how's that turned out? Are players actually using it? Do they find it useful? Do they find it does enough damage? What are you seeing about that? So, and do you have any more fun, unique things planned for interactables?
So actually, I think for both of those things, we've got some pretty big plans. So when it comes down to it, first we have our stolen power system, and what we're doing with that is we're making sure that every single character has their own unique stolen power. So an example would be Shazam's super strength is going to be fundamentally different than Doomsday's super strength is different than Wonder Woman's super strength, and each of them gives them different abilities in terms of that one. So I mean,
powers?
Yes.
So these additional stolen powers, if you guys don't know, they work like, you slot them in before the games. So you're saying these individuals will work differently for different champions? It's not just one across all champions? That's pretty cool.
And what happens is you can unlock them as you play. So that means that over a period of time, after you've unlocked Wonder Woman's super strength, you eventually can put that on any other character you want to play. So you want to play a Gaslight Batman with Wonder Woman's super strength? Like, feel free. And people won't expect it, and you're going to get some different bonuses than you would if you just use, let's say, one day magically, if we ever decide to build Superman, maybe he might have a super strength.
You're building Superman, all right? Don't make me angry. And he's got to come soon. I'm sure you're saving him for like a big thing. I mean, the movie's coming out soon.
That's true. I'm very much looking forward to it.
But I think that's really cool with the stolen powers and having unique stolen powers, because that adds variation to the builds. Because in the closed beta, I don't want to see people building the same thing over and over, and this will open up different build types. Do you expect that to happen, and how viable are different build types are you finding?
Yes, actually, one of the things that we're constantly pushing towards is we want to make sure that there is no single go-to skill for any of our maps, and because of that fact, that means there's a lot of tuning we've had to do. I mean, I know for Gotham Heights, we've had a lot of bin space time, and that's a great ability, and it's wonderful, but we don't want it to be a world where everyone is taking bin space time, so we're changing it, we're modifying those things up. We've actually slowly increasing the power of super strength abilities and other ones that are actually much more map dependent, like Detonate Matter now does a massive amount of damage in a large area. So, I mean, its combo abilities with Meteor Drop is awesome. We also changed it up so that if you throw a car, you get a totally different effect than if you throw like a meteor. I mean, basically, if you're throwing meteors, they're great for initiation. If you're throwing cars, they're great for closing people out. I mean, these are the types of things we're going to constantly work with in order to make sure that each of these stolen powers feels really, really good.
Well, that all sounds great, Cardell. I'm really excited to hear your passion, and it seems like you know what you're talking about with the MOBA stuff. So, and for those of you out there, I'm throwing my full support behind this game. So don't mess it up for me, okay? Constant updates, constant tweaks, changes, improvements, and you know, send your feedback to me, and I'll make sure Cardell hears about it. All right, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.